I'm Rex Sikes Movie Beat, here in DuPage Fairgrounds for the Haunted Halloween Flea Market Celebrity Meet and Greet. And I'm here with an iconic actor, Mr. Fred Williamson. Fred, it's a pleasure to be with you here today.
The hammer is in the house.
The hammer is in the house. Indeed he is.
Yes, no doubt.
Sir, you have done so many movies going back to the 70s and television, so many different things. You were in MASH, for example, and different...
Well, MASH was really my first movie. I just happened to be sitting in the commissary when the guy walks by and says, I'm getting ready to do a movie. I got a football scene in it. I know nothing about football. Would you direct all the football stuff? That was Robert Altman, and the movie was MASH. I played Spear Chucker Jones.
Spear Chucker Jones. Now, that's got to be tough. I mean, you started with football.
That wasn't tough. I don't know.
No,
you said that, not me.
Well, I meant it had to be tough that Robert Altman walks by and goes, gee, wouldn't you like to do this?
No, that wasn't tough. What was tough about that?
I was being facetious, but that's all right.
No, you got a spoon. You just talk to me. I listen. I'm a listener.
All right, man.
I hear what you say.
And so from MASH, then what?
Well, from MASH, I decided that I was going to be in the movie since this was so easy and so simple based on, compared to what I just left, because I already did a television series with Diane Carroll called Julia. I was sitting in the commissary at the same time for lunch when I was doing the Julia show when I met Robert Altman. Ingo Preminger he was the producer on MASH. He said his brother was looking for a dark-skinned Italian guy for a movie called Tell Me He Loved Me, Junie Moon, and his brother was Otto Preminger. So he took me over to Otto Preminger's house, and they happened to be having a party, and we broke into the party, and that sort of insulted Otto that Ingo brought somebody over. So he was a little upset, so he gave me a script to read, and at that time I hadn't been in the business that long, and so I was not a good cold script reader, and I got about halfway through it, and I took the script, tore it in half, and threw it across the room. And he said, very good, you are no good anyway, you're football players, when you stop playing, you're out of shape, and in this movie you have to carry a guy across your shoulder the whole time. We walked to the door, I grabbed him by the collar, lifted him up, stuff was falling out of his pockets, everybody at the party stood up because they didn't know what I was going to do to him. I gently put him down, went over to his wife, kissed her on the hand, and says, thank you for allowing me to come into the party. I'm very sorry we interrupted the party. I left. I got home. There was about 22 messages on my answer machine from Otto. Fred, come back. I want to talk to you. So I got the movie Tell Me You Love Me, Junie Moon with Liza Minnelli.
Wow, that's impressive. Do you recommend that approach to new coming actors?
Well, when you have nothing to lose, you don't really care. When you go into an interview or go into a meeting, you want to go in the same way you come out. If you go in strong, you want to come out strong. You want to go in bleeding and bleed all over the place and you still don't get the part, then you start feeling like a jerk, and that's not allowable in my life. I go in as me and I come out as me. If you don't like it, then there's no way we can work together anyway.
Wow, no, that's well put. But you've done so many movies, but I got to tell you about one of my favorites, and that was Dusk to Dawn.
Well, when I first came into Hollywood, I made a speech to the press. I said, I'm coming into the business and I'm going to be a hero, which means you can't kill me in a movie. I have to win all my fights in a movie, and I get the girl at the end of the movie if I want her. If you're not going to adhere to 2 out of 3 of those, I'm not interested in making your movie. So I had created this image of the hero like Charles Bronson, like other actors, John Wayne, Clint Eastwood. They never die in a movie, why the hell should I die? But that's not the way it was in those days, Back in the day, the black guy got killed in the first 5 minutes, and then the white guy revenged his death, Kill Schwarzenegger, let me revenge his damn death. So because of this image, and Quentin had seen most of my movies in the 70s, he wanted me in the movie. But he didn't know how to put me in the movie, so he asked me if I'd write my part. So I wrote my part in the movie based on my image. So as you know, I step up to the plate at a significant time in the movie when it was time to kick some butt, and I started kicking butt. But I came in as a demented hero, a man that was a little off talking about Vietnam and all of that kind of business, and get bitten on the neck, but not before I kill at least 22 zombies. So, Quentin wanted me in the movie, and he let me write my part, so I did.
Well, that movie for me was one of those things that I'd heard the hype. I got to admit, I hadn't seen it in theater, and I got the DVD and I took it home and I started to watch it, and I was just impressed with, wow, this is really just a good, gripping thriller, and then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose. I mean, it was an amazing turn of events, and the character that you played, transforming into this vampire.
But you got to give a lot of credit to Roberto Rodriguez. You got to give credit to a director who was smart enough to let the actors that he hired do their thing. So each actor was kind of responsible for his own character, So things you did things that you were noted for. Me being a martial art person, I said, look, why don't I take this guy's heart out, do a martial art move, take his heart out, but it keeps moving toward me, and we finally have to kill it by sticking a pencil in the heart. So, I mean, all these little nuances work because Roberto Rodriguez was a director that listened to his actors and let them be free to do what they wanted. So I got to give Roberto a lot of credit for it, because a lot of things that we did were not in the script. As a matter of fact, most of the things that we did were not really in the script.
Wow, that's very cool. Now, I mean, I could ask you question after question, but what I really want to ask you, Fred, is there a question that you've not been asked in all of your career that you really want to answer? Is there something that no one's had the foresight to say, hey, Mr. Williamson, and you go, hey, let me tell you?
No, not really, because I never answer the same question the same way all the time anyway. So nobody knows if I'm saying what it really is or what it's not anyway. So I never say the same thing twice anyway, so it makes no difference.
So this could all be crap. I mean,
could be, yeah, no doubt.
I like this guy. He's all right. That's good. The hammer is in the house.
In the house.
All right, man. I appreciate this very much. You're here. Anything current or anything you want to talk about that we should know?
I started making a sequel to a film I did called Original Gangsters. Right after the holidays, I'm making a sequel to it called Old School Gangsters. I'll be shooting it again in Chicago and Gary, Indiana, like I shot the first one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Again, have a great one. We'll let you get back to your fans, and we'll look for you in the movie.
Thank you.
Thank you.